In nature, there's always a lot of extreme weather going on. One of these types of extreme weather is the flood. So what exactly is a flood? The easiest way to explain it is to say that if water ends up where it is not supposed to be, and it causes damage, then it's a flood. Often floods can involve enormous amounts of water plowing through a city, moving cars, houses, and destroying everything else in its path. Now you know what a flood is, but how does it happen? One of the main causes of floods are storms or tsunamis. Both of these weather patterns bring excess water into an area, and without the right kinds of preparation, they can cause major floods and damage. When there's too much rain from a storm, rivers overflow, which is the main type of flood. In the picture shown here, you can see a river before and after a storm. Floods can have a very extreme effect on society. This can be seen by examining Hurricane Katrina, which caused a lot of flood damage in the southern US. Thousands of homes were destroyed, millions of cars ruined, and many people were displaced or killed. New Orleans, the main target of the hurricane, remained flooded for about a year after the flood. Even 3 years later, there were many families that still did not have a home to stay in. The damage caused by floods can be very devastating. The environmental effects of floods are very devastating. This includes water supplies being contaminated, the spread of waterborne diseases, and farmland destruction. Many trees also die because they cannot tolerate all of the excess water. Floods can occur almost anywhere in the world where there is water. However, there are a few areas that have them more commonly than others. In the southern part of the US, in Hurricane Valley, there are many hurricanes that sweep through and cause floods. There are a few rivers in China that are also prone to floods, such as the Yellow River, the Yangtze River, and the Huai River. China is known for having many floods and also a lot of deaths due to floods. The Netherlands and Vietnam also get many floods throughout the year. Historically, there have been around 100 major floods every year. In 1887, the Yellow River flood in China killed around 1.5 million people. In 1931, over 3 million people were killed in floods. Another flood struck the Yellow River in 1938, killing about 600,000 people. Hurricane Katrina's flooding, however, despite the fact that it is one of the most covered by the media, only killed about 2,000 people. There have been floods in Venice, Iowa, Washington, Winnipeg, Grand Forks, Egypt, London, and many other major areas, like some cities in Russia. Here are some interesting facts that many people are unaware of in terms of floods. 66% of flood deaths occur in vehicles, and most happen when drivers make a single, fatal mistake trying to navigate through floodwaters. Just 6 inches of rapidly moving water is capable of knocking a person down. A mere 2 feet of water is able to make a large vehicle float, including buses. 1/3 of flooded bridges and roads are so damaged by water that any vehicle trying to cross only has about a 50% chance of making it to the other side. There are many countries and cities that are now beginning to try and protect themselves from floods. In London, there is a huge mechanical barrier across the River Thames, which raises itself when the water gets to a certain height. Venice has a similar system, however it is a little bit outdated, and if tides get too high, it does not provide a full defense. In New Orleans, the levee systems failed during Hurricane Katrina, and so a lot was learned about how to build more effective flood prevention systems. To conclude, floods can be very dangerous and should not be underestimated. If you'd like to learn more about floods, there are many resources available online with facts and information on how to keep yourself safe in the case of a flood.